Alright, we're going to be kicking things off with Horror and Cyan today in this Douyu Star Masters number 9. And we're going to be going into the upper left hand corner of the map in the red from Team MVP. It's our red Zerg player, it is Horror. Made it to the finals 2 days ago, where he did lose out very quickly to True, 3 games to 0. Not much to be said about that one. The bottom right hand side is our blue Protoss player, Cyan. He has actually been playing very well in these. He's been towards the, he's been in top 3, I think, before. I think he's made it to 3rd place before, and maybe even a bit beyond that. I don't think he's made a finals. I definitely think he's taken a 3rd place, though. So, Cyan has been playing good in these in the past. Why is my music so loud today in my ears? So just, yeah, it definitely is louder. There we go. Sorry. can't deal with that, like, really. As we see Fid Hatch coming down from Horror. And he's going to be just setting up onto these couple of gold bases very quickly in the game, obviously. So, couple of gold bases down, pool about to finish. Horror even manning gas, so he's going to go into a single queen, probably then circling speed, and there's second queen just a little bit later on in this. So, you see this probe coming in, just checking to see what's up, making sure there's no kind of crazy rotoring already, and just trying to see, make sure that it's just going to be 100 gas mine. Actually, because it's going to be second queen first, so second queen first, and then circling speed will start up in the near future, perhaps, unless he wants to just skip circling speed and go for something a little bit cheeky, a little bit different, something that we might not be expecting, as this probe just going to be coming down back home towards the bottom right hand side. Cybercore is on the way up, and he's just kind of gone into his own expansion, basically, his own gold base, already mining over here, as these probes just continue to get set up. There's that link speed finally on the way from Horror, and 1 extra queen, just about to pop out the natural, so up to 2 queens, 3rd queen will probably build over at the 3rd base, and we'll see where this is going to go, see what Horror wants to do with this. I mean, it's one of them games, one of these maps where a lot of things are viable that maybe aren't as viable on other maps, just because of how good the, just because of how quickly you get set up into your economy as a Zerg player, thanks to them gold bases. You don't need as many drones, so you can just start producing, units a little bit faster. And if you really want to pile on the pressure, you kind of can. I mean, that's what we see a lot of the time. A lot of Roach Ravager attacks, and Ling Roach Ravagers, or Ling Ravager, and Queens even coming across the map sometimes. We see a lot of things like that, so we'll see what exactly Horror has in store for us here. I mean, at the same time, what has Cyan got planned? Because, it's very interesting knowing that there's a lot of different things the Zerg can do, but because of that, there's a lot of different things the Protoss can do in terms of, do they set up defensively, expecting aggression? Do they set up aggressively to try and stop the Zerg ever getting to his aggressive state? There's a lot of different things we can see here, and it is going to be a very fast Warp Prism coming in, as it looks as though we'll just have a 3rd base being taken by Cyan as he goes for this Warp Prism, so probably just looking to kind of put some pressure over to the other side of the map with Adepts, get some damage done in towards the mineral lines, and just slow the Zerg player down a little bit, as Horror is just on his way up into a lair, taking some extra gases now as well. And Rotron is going to be finishing up here in just a few moments' time. So Rotron about to finish up as a couple of Lings just splitting up and moving around the map. A couple of enemies going to be tickling away at those here and there. As Mothership Core just standing strong towards the front, as Stalker just going to be working its way through this Overlord. And that Overlord will be falling here in the next couple of moments. So, Overlord just get through them and just actually see the robot facility at the end of its life. So, Horror getting a nice scout here with this Overlord. He also, I believe, saw that Twilight Council building, unless he was just on the other end of it. No, okay, he saw that building too. So, get some really good information here. As we see these Zerglings just grouping up together a little bit. And, well, so far, I mean, Horror hasn't really, been massing units at all. He's actually been going straight at 60 drones. So, it's not that sort of aggressive Zerg style he talked about. It is definitely like it's definitely more of a I want to tech up and go from there sort of style. As you see, if your Adepts coming in here, 6 in total, because these Queens are working their way against that Warp Prism, get a lot of damage onto it. Do you force it away as 2 of them Adepts shade into the natural, or 3 of the Adepts shade into the natural, and then Queen Warp Prism comes back in towards the natural now as well. So a little bit more damage being done here. Zerglings run in to try and help out, and Horror maybe just being a little bit too greedy. He's already lost about 10 workers in this, and was maybe again just being a little bit too greedy in terms of, basically just going into all of these drones and not making a single unit already. So paying the price a little bit here. These Adepts doing some good damage, and you'll see him just taking the 4th base while this is going on. He will re-drone slightly, and a few roaches coming out now to deflect further Adept pressure. As these few roaches just going to be joining together, seeing where they want to go, seeing what they want to get up to. Cyan just over here for Warp Prism, and you see a couple of gateways coming down now as well for Cyan. So Cyan had a few extra gates, got the pylons up at the front, and you know, with a few pylons here, with the sentries, you should be pretty safe against counterattacks. And I mean, we don't really look as though we've got a Berserk player having a plan to attack anytime soon, or at least not in the next minute. Probably after the next minute is when he may start getting aggressive, because he's getting Hydras on the map, he's getting that muscular augments coming in, and he's going to have muscular augments +1 and a roach speed all finishing up. So if there ever was a time to attack, it's going to be in about a minute and a half or so. Or maybe just a little bit sooner than that, but by then we're going to have a Disruptor on the field, if not more. We're going to have 2 Immortals, we've still got these Sentries here, we're going to have even more gateways available to our Protoss player. Cyan's setting up very nicely to sort of just continue in this game, as we do see a Ravager and a Hydra coming in to deny these Adepts, as they do pick up 2 free kills on the drone line, and that's going to be a 4th kill perhaps if you can target fire, and it is. So 4 kills there, and Cyan actually staying ahead in the work account, 60 to 454, and one of the nice things for Cyan is the fact that he's got a blue base as his 3rd base, basically, and what that means is that his 3rd base is not going to mine out as quickly as the Zerg's 3rd base here. So while, you know, it's all well and good right now, yes, our Zerg player is up on 4 bases and 4 base economy very soon when he gets the drones out, he's not going to be there for very long, because as soon as we see the that's kind of cute. As soon as we see the gold base at the natural and the gold base at the 3rd mine out, he's going to have to start taking extra bases on the map a lot faster than usual. And that's going to force, well, that's basically going to say to Cyan, that's, you know, that's where, you know, a Protoss player will begin to shine with Warp Prism attacks all over the place while pressure with the main army up through the middle. So let's see if he gets to that point in the game. So do you see a big Disruptor shot coming in? Oh wow, that's a big start to this engagement. 11 kills on this Disruptor already. 2nd Disruptor also going huge here. 8 kills on that, as the last Disruptor only getting 2. But man, is that that's one heck of a start, and I mean from there, this Zerg army is not going to have the best of times. A couple of time warps coming in actually, as the Worship Core is going to go down, so I guess worthwhile investment, as you see Disruptor being cancelled there, and we are going to see this Protoss army taking a pretty decent engagement over here. I mean, we are seeing pretty much everything being killed off from our Zerg player. A couple more Hydras going down to the Disruptor. That Disruptor gets killed just before it fires, I believe. You see a big blink forwards now. Disruptor, Stalker's targeting down a Ravager. A couple more units. These Zerglings now starting to stream in, as we see these last few units up there going to go down. Oops, blows up his own Immortal. A lot of the Disruptors are falling here, but Cyan still takes what I would call a very good engagement, because he cleans up a lot and gets himself in a nice strong position. As these Lings going to be returning back home, just going to be teaming up over on this 3rd base. I'm going to see lots of them Lings just joining up here on this creep spread, as we see this Stalker, Immortal, Disruptor, Adept army. Going to be moving up the center, looking to see what it can get done, looking to see what sort of damage he can achieve over here. As we do see some Zealots to the left hand side are trying to run by, do get picked away at. Cyan definitely in the lead, and that's the thing, I mean, he's in the lead, but Horror's trying to buy time. He's actually got a Spire on the way up, which means he wants to switch into Mutalisks. He's got a lot of gas to do that with, and 15 Mutas on the way. It's a bit of a comeback mechanism here, perhaps, and if he can get the damage done for the Mutas, maybe he can find a way back into this after the, well, slightly disastrous start, I suppose, to the middle stages of this game, where the engagement just didn't go his way. Them Disruptors killed off way too much, and, you know, it's not just 11 kills and 8 kills on a bunch of Zerglings. No, it's like 11 kills and 8 kills on Hydras and Roaches and just so much more. As these units are going to be joining up once again, as you see a few things just going to stream over to the right hand side, and just going to be running in towards this base and just working their way through this 4th Nexus. But Protoss army is nearby, but there's them Mutas going to start flying on in here. Now there is a Mothership Core up, has not even a Photon Overcharge ready, so Mothership Core will go down almost immediately. Stalkers on their way back over, big blink forwards, and they're trying to get 1 or 2 of these Mutas right now. But you will see them moving in towards the main base. Dark Shrine's just finished up, as at the same time we do have Zealots harassing over here in the main base and in the 4th. So some damage being done, a couple more Warpins coming in while it's still possible. As these Stalkers finally gets the Mutas in the main base, big blink forward, and he'll take down a few more of these, targeting down some of the low health ones. As, oh my god, actually he just gets away with a few of them low health ones. So Horror kind of looking out a little bit there, as we have a lone Disruptor over here. Not sure what that one was doing. Maybe send some of his units across the map to, I mean, I'd say he sent some of his units across the map to counterattack, but you look at this and he kind of has all of his units here, so that doesn't really make much sense. So yeah, I'm not sure quite what that Disruptor was doing over there, as we see the Mutalisks count continue to grow, and Cyan, well, he's stabilizing slightly. He's got a 4th base up, he's got more cannons coming down as well. He's got Temple Archives on the way, and these Mutas, so far, you know, have been deflected. They haven't done too much, as they will find some Adepts now moving up the left hand side. Stalker's trying to blink forwards, but just getting themselves into an awkward position. This SimCity is really hurting our Protoss player more than anything else right now. As you see a few more Stalkers warping in, and we do see their meters continue to fall. I mean, there is +2 attacks on these Stalkers, so that really does help out a lot when it comes to kind of cleaning up these meters just a little bit faster. As these Stalkers continue to fight, but the meters are just continuing to trade, and, well, these Stalkers, because they haven't been able to get in a good position, because they've all been fighting just a couple at a time, or 4 or 5 at a time instead of all together, the meters are going to end up cleaning up everything, and wow, Cyan has to GG out of the game. And Horror is going to take game number 1. I really thought that was Cyan in such a good position there, but I mean, that's the thing with ZvP, their Mutalisks can just change everything, basically. They really can. GG's. We're going to be jumping into game number 2 of this in just a moment. We are currently just going to be following the Chinese casters and seeing who they follow throughout the day. Our bracket is looking interesting. We haven't looked at it on stream here just yet, but give you guys a bit of an idea as to what's going on. We've got True waiting in the round of 16 for either the Douyu admin or LYJ. Don't know who LYJ is actually. Maybe I can get that information over here. Apparently it's just LYJ. No one, not even the man of power on Wikipedia, Snickle Death, knows who LYJ is apparently. He knows who everyone else is, but not LYJ. So Tree's waiting for that match there. Nice and Departure are going to play in the round of 16. The winner of this match goes up against either Cancer, MA, or XY, 2 Terran players. We've actually casted both of them in the past in Douyu Star Master Cups. Psyarch plays Gumiho, Cell plays Time, Blaze plays against either Breaking GG or Jim. And then we've got a couple of round of 13 matches still on the way. Apocalypse versus Ying Winid, and also Tails versus Easy RC. They are Exia. That's Exia who's Apocalypse is playing against. And right at the bottom of the bracket, Shiro plays against Pet. So we can, well, okay, let's not look at the bracket. Let's just go in game and introduce our players. And then we'll have a look at the bracket on screen a little bit later on. So, let's introduce our players. To the bottom left hand side of the map, it's going to be our Blues player from Team MVP. It is Horror. And his opponent to the upper right hand side of the map, our red Protoss player Cyan. What's up, Arius? How you doing? Milky abusing her power. If she keeps that up, she's going to be banned. You know what? Sorry, Milky. I just had to. I just had to. I couldn't resist. It's too perfect. Alright, sorry, just having some fun in the chat, guys. Hatch gas pool starting things off for Horror takes expand on the low ground. And we'll expand on the low ground, and Cyan just setting up over here into an expansion of his own fairly early in the game too. So probably going to come in, dropping a simulator on the main base as we have the third hatch coming down as well. So pretty much the same as last time from Horror. Nice quick free hatcheries, and as Protoss player just going to be putting something down over here, maybe just a pylon, I guess, just to get some extra vision in his base. It's kind of a weird one because I generally say your early pylons are usually quite often useful if they're kind of deeper in your base, so that you can put your tech down. It's hard to scout, but maybe that's not going to affect Cyan here in this game. You've lost your mod? Oh my god. Well, you're just going to have to earn it back, aren't you, Milky? I'm joking, I'll fix it after the game. Okay, so Horror is going to be coming in. Again, not really much going on at the very start of this PvZ. Just towers our map, so again, kind of avoiding the new ladder maps still. People still feeling a lot more comfortable playing on these older maps. As we have just Probe mining away here in the natural. And the third base again on the way up for Horror. That's going to be active here soon, and he's going to be able to mine from that very shortly as well. So that's ongoing. On the way up. Stargate on the way over here as well. So Stargate on the way down. We also have a Overlord just taking a bit of damage from a Stalker at the front, but Stalker actually backs away, so... See the Stalker just moving forwards and actually just going to be looking for that Overlord kill, and we'll get it, which is actually pretty nice early on, actually. I mean, losing an Overlord this early is before you really scout anything, and that is going to make him have to, you know, force Horror into an extra Overlord here, which he might not have wanted to make. As you see a couple of gates and a Stargate on the way down from Cyan, bit of a different opening from that Robo-based build which he went for on Prion Terraces. So this Oracle going to be moving towards the bottom left-hand side as we have 3 bases set for our Zerg player. We have speed about to finish, a handful of links coming out just to start dealing with any initial adepts which might come across here. But really not too much to worry about on either side. Again, it's looking fairly standard and fairly safe from both players just now. As we're going to have the Zerglings just running around a little bit. There's a Voidtron on the way down as well as the first 2 adepts begin to come across the map, and they shouldn't be able to get too much damage here in the early stages of this game as they actually even cancel their shades going back home. Oracle will come across the map though, although it does fly past an Overlord, so he sees this Overlord pretty much straight away. As the Zergling's going to come in and do a little bit of damage, but they will get deflected by the few adepts which are here in the Mothership Core. There's not really, I guess there's 1 pile to photo overcharge, but the adepts alone are sort of enough against that number of Zerglings. As we'll have that Nexus on the way up here as the Oracle just going to be flying in and going to be taking down a few of these drones. So a couple of drones falling here as Oracle is forced to turn around and just head back home. So Oracle going to be heading back home now, and you see these Zerglings just going to be running up towards the upper right again. Oracle getting some good kills though. I mean, 7 kills is not to be laughed at, so that's pretty decent. Going into Phoenix behind us too, very standard setup. Only 1 Phoenix for now as he actually drops some double Robo, so we'll see how much he wants to commit into Phoenix, or if it's just going to be the 1 Phoenix just to clean out a few of these, you know, clean out a few Overlords, because, you know, for the cost of 1 Phoenix to kill off a bunch of Overlords, it's probably worthwhile. So we'll see if he commits into further Phoenix. Doesn't look as though he is, because I mean he's ending up into double Robo and a Forge. It's hard to imagine he'll be able to afford more Phoenix and all of this, which is already building up as we see these adepts, because he's going to stop short of the 3rd. They'll kind of run up here perhaps to attack and then shade into the main base at the same time. Maybe just looking to scout more than anything. There's a fair few Zerglings here, and that's about it. And actually maybe the Oracle's going to join in with this fight, and here we go. He is going to start fighting this. And these Zerglings continue to go down, but the Oracle getting messed up a little bit by the Queen there. And so the Adepts kind of just can sacrifice themselves for nothing. No real damage done. I mean, these Zerglings are made to be able to defend from the Adepts, so actually just losing the Adepts is sort of what Horror wants, right? Because if them Adepts are gone, they're not going to kill any more workers or anything. So that puts him into a little bit of a safer zone, and now he can just focus on really working on his work account until he's set and ready to go into his Roach and Hydra Balisks in towards the middle of the game. Couple of Robos, Chrono boosting away, 2 Immortals popping out at a time, plus 1 on the way up. Twilight Council on the way down. Probably going to see that charge upgrade here in the very near future for our Royals player. Very standard setup, as we will see a couple of force fields coming in just to help out against these Zerglings, and a Photon Overcharge as well to help push that back. So nothing really very crazy at the start of this, as this Oracle continues to move around. Actually picks up 10 kills overall now, although considering he's trying to pick up some Zerglings with this, I mean that's not too great. So we still have 7 initial kills, which have been hurting the most. There's 16 Hydras now on the way up as them Zerglings run by once again. They'll find themselves trapped in the back of this mineral line though, although they do just find a way out. That one Zergling managing to just squeeze out of that force field as well. Phoenix going to be flying over around the top side of the map. We'll be looking to see what's up, looking to see what he can get up to over here. As that Zerg has to back away as well. It looks more again trapped in there by a pylon, so he's just going to rebuild that pylon in a slightly different location. So not really much of an issue there for Cyan, just a quick suicide on his own pylon. As you see his, well, we see Horror going into this basically the same as last time again. I mean, Muscular Augments, he's got +1 coming up. He's got his Roach Speed finishing. Apparently he was doing a bit of a dance around with his Overlords there for a few moments. Lots and lots of Hydras on the way, but I love what's coming up here from Cyan. He's going straight into Psionic Storm, which means that, you know, this heavy Hydra player is going to be ripped to shreds very, very easily and very quickly here. As we see a Phoenix just sitting tall to the north side. As we do see a few units starting to move through the centre of the map, looking to see what they can get up to. We'll see what sort of damage they can achieve as they come across down towards that bottom left side. These Hydras over here are going to be, well, continuing to mass up, and Overseer coming in as well. And it's kind of, it feels as though this army for a pros player right now can't really do anything, but not against the number of Hydras, but as soon as he gets Storm in this, he's going to be having the time of his life. He has to recoil away from this, like, immediately. Like, he has to recoil now before the Mothership Port gets targeted. And he does get away without losing too much there, which is a light getaway, honestly, because that is a lot of Hydras. Like, I'm not kidding, that is a lot of Hydras. I mean, this is, like, pure Hydras, right? Like, 9 Roaches, 33 Hydras. He's basically relying on his opponent not having Archons or Storm, I think, but with Storm's already up here, this is going to be really difficult for Horror to do anything with, because he's going to attack up the ramp, the Storms are going to land on these Hydras, and, I mean, Cyan's just going to be laughing when he kind of force fields up a bit as well, and as long as he gets his spells off correctly here, this should be a very simple win, because he has the tools he needs to engage into this. Wow, them Storms already, Hydras are disappearing, and those are some big Storms to start us off, although, that being said, there's no more High Templar left over, so there's no more Storms available, actually, which means that this army is going to continue pushing up the ramp, but the initial wave of damage that those Storms did is probably just enough to kind of clean this out. These Immortals standing strong at the back and cleaned up a lot of this. At the same time, these Zealots in the main base, Cyan is dishing out a lot of damage. He's taking down a bunch of workers, and this will be cleaned up, but he's up now 20 workers, and for the second game in a row, Cyan looking as though he's in a really favourable position against Horror here. And these Immortals are chased, and they pick off another Ravager, which gets blown to pieces by them Immortals. And I mean, yeah, from here, I mean, we just see maybe a few more High Templar warped in to, have Storms ready. And he just goes for another fight, basically. We actually see a switch into Roach Ravager instead of that heavy Hydra style. But man, that was not a good engagement at all. Look at that resources lost, 9.3k to 5.3k. Sort of tells the kind of story here in this as we see these Immortals. I mean, the fact that all of these Immortals stayed alive is just fantastic. I mean, they are, expensive units that take a while to rebuild or whatever. This is not good if he's going to lose all of his High Templar out in the middle of nowhere. And it's just these Immortals on their own right now, and this is a lot of Roach Ravagers to go up against. So these Immortals are sort of still holding their ground to some extent, but he's losing a lot more of them than he maybe should be. You see Warpers back in the main base, Zealous back in here. Horror's actually going to GG out. In the end, I mean, in the center, he does actually end up losing out. Immortals are pretty good. It just looked as though they were maybe in a little bit of trouble out there on their own. So, map number 3 going to be coming up. Our first best of 3 of the day, and we get a third game. The winner of this will go up against XY, so we might actually follow the winner of this into that match against XY, which could be pretty cool. Going to be a non-mirror matchup, which is probably the most important thing, so that'll be nice. Okay, cool. So, perfect. Alright, so you just sorting something out. Things just kind of moving along here. Gumiho is apparently in the round of 8 alongside Departure. Who have we got in the brackets? I mean, as we're into the lobby, let's show you guys the brackets here, shall we? Let's just open up the Wikipedia page, refresh. I'll give you guys a bit of an update as to what's going on right now. So, Departure is written in the round of 8 for either True or Crazy Rush or LIJ. So Departure in the round of 8. Gumiho also in the round of 8 now. He waits for kind of this segment of the bracket. So maybe we actually just follow this, like Cyan Horror, then we go into the match versus XY, then versus Gumiho, then versus Departure, True, Crazy Rush or LIJ. Down to the bottom half of the bracket, Cell and Time are taking place. Are going to be fighting against each other. Blaze as well, waiting for Breaking GG or Jim. Ipoctopus against Xtier, Tails against EZRC, and Pet is actually one of the sole Korean players, one of the few Korean players down in this bottom side. He's also in the quarterfinals right now, so he's waiting over there as we are jumping into Frozen Temple for our third map of this series. So let's go into this and introduce our players. Mass Hydra didn't work too well for him in that last game. Let's see what he has in store for us here on Frozen Temple. It is Horror, our blue Zerg player, to the bottom right hand side of the map. And to the upper left hand side, our red Protoss player. Let's see if you're going to be cheering on Cyan, the Chinese player here in this best of 3. Tighten things up, 1 game apiece. Great read from Cyan, just expecting the Mass Hydra and going into the storm so quickly. Really did a lot to help him out there, so that was really nice for him. And you just saw how quickly the Hydras lost a lot of health, and even though there wasn't storms behind that, the Hydras just being on such low health allowed him to just go into a position where he was able, you just allowed him to just set up really nicely and just clean out the rest of that army, and that was sort of just game from there. What's up, Sahinen, in the chat? How are you doing today? Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for checking out the stream. I know, guys, there's so much StarCraft going on right now, like literally right now. There is Kung Fu Cup on, GSL is on as well, which I'm kind of sad. The only sad thing about the Douyu Star Master is that if we do cast doing GSL, I actually missed GSL, so that's kind of sad. I'm trying to open up. I wanted to open up the GSL stream and see how it's going. It looks as though okay, the winners match just finished up there. Wow, the new GSL studio looks really sick. That's so cool. That's actually really, really cool. They don't have any booths though. That's kind of weird. Alright, anyways, sorry, let's go back into this game. GSL though, man. I just want to watch the GSL. So, Probe just coming in and scouting. It has just been Hatchcast pulled from our Zerg player. What a surprise. No real... such a shocker over here. Not really. So, I mean, we see this pretty much every game, and we see a Cyber Corner gate on the way up after a Nexus first from Cyan, so really nothing crazy from him either. Now, these couple of gates on the low ground are kind of nice because with a Nexus first, you can go into 2 gates very early on without really hurting yourself too much. With the 2 gates on the low ground, you can make adepts here very early and move across the map with those and put on a lot of pressure. It's a pretty small map in all honesty. I mean, units get across here very quickly, so adepts have a lot of potential to get across here quick, put some damage on, put some hurt on, force some Zerglings, and while you're building up with a Nexus first economy of your own, you're looking to force, basically just units out of units out of your opponent. As we see these couple of links coming in, that probe has to keep on running away, has to just keep on backing away here as we'll see these Zerglings catching that, and that probe does go down. Twilight Council is on the way up for Cyan in the main base. It's a very fast Twilight Council, and this generally means that, especially with the 2 gates early on and adepts coming in from an early stage, this is probably going to be Resonating Glaives. It's just the kind of most likely thing for this to be, is you're going to see these adepts actually not going to commit across the map just yet. Going to be pulling back and really just looking to deny scouting, I guess, and maybe we can see one of the adepts just staying back home to continue to deny that scouting. Or maybe they both move across the map now, but they've forced them Zerglings away. Because if you have a Zergling right now, that's the last thing you want to happen. The last thing you want is for him to spot this Resonating Glaives early in the game and then prepare against it, I guess. So, you just had Resonating Glaives starting on up here. As this probe from Cyan, just going to be coming down towards the natural. And there's a couple of adepts going to shade up into the main base once again. And these Zerglings are going to be coming down towards the bottom right side, or they were moving down to the bottom right side for a moment, but they're just going to stick around and just stop these adepts from moving across the map too early on. I mean, if they move across to the middle, they've got to unshade. They've got to unshade at some point. And if they unshade at any point, then the issue becomes that the Zerglings can get a good surround because there's nowhere in the middle of the map to kind of hide them Zerglings. Resonating Glaive's going to finish. It's going to be 8 adepts in total moving across the map when he gets a chance to. We're trying on the way up though, and well, let's see if Horror has enough roaches in the right places to be able to defend against this. There'll be a 3rd base also coming down over here for Cyan, so he gets that set up. And the Zerglings continue to take damage as adepts do continue or begin to shade through the middle. Probably won't go too far though, again, just feeling as though he wants to stick around, wait for all his adepts, and wait for that Resonating Glaives to come into play as well. So you're going to see that probe targeted down. Nice pick off there by them Zerglings. It's probably the one thing you could definitely get here before them adepts come over to deny this. And Horror just running around a little bit and just being a bit of a nuisance. There's 7 roaches, 8 roaches start up in the production tab, 9 roaches start up in the production tab. Wow. Lots of roaches on the way, and I wonder, I mean, he's on 49 drones. It's not really a drone count you get sort of aggressive off of, but I guess it is to some extent a possibility as these adepts come forwards. I mean, I think more than anything, he's just looking to defend against these adepts, and by making enough units now, then he's going to have so many, ability to just drone later. Although that being said, more roaches on the way, Ling's on the way as well, and maybe we're going to see a big push across the map here from Horror in the next couple of moments. 4 Ravages morphing in. Maybe we do just see a big attack across the map here in the next few moments as we see a couple of Ravagers going to be finishing up, and they're going to start moving up towards the upper left hand side. There's a couple more Ravagers starting to morph in here in the centre, and these units are going to be coming up, and well, there's lots of pylons set up in the middle already, so Force Field here cuts this army in half. Nova Charges will help out a lot. One of them pylons already going down, another pylon available. Don't think he needs to throw Nova Charge yet. These Force Fields are to some extent good enough. I mean, another set of Force Fields here and just cut this army in half again, although is there no Force Field energy? There was. He kind of messed that up, I feel, a little bit. He kind of cuts it in half, but lets these Ravagers get further up the ramp. 2 Ravagers more pinned over to the right-hand side. More depths coming into this, and Immortal here as well. Going to be looking to pick off whatever it can. There's more Zerglings streaming on in. Cyan is starting to lose these sentries. He's starting to lose that Immortal. And this is starting to look a little bit tough for him, as for an overcharge will be possible. See one more pylon getting targeted down. As these Ravagers and Roaches, though, their numbers are lowering. Zerglings running across the map to try and reinforce, but the depths are cleaning on up. And looks as though Cyan will make a hold here. As a bunch more Roaches are on the way for Horror. He gets ready to go for wave 2 of this aggression, apparently, as the Zerglings going to take a little bit of damage. The Depths should be able to get over there and defend that. Crow's being pulled to try and minimize the damage they can, the Zerglings can get done. As the Adepts will come over and just again try and defend against this. As try and put down a Forge, but that gets cancelled. These Zerglings keep on running around and blocking it. As we will see a Zeld in the wall off here, so no chance of getting in towards the natural. And again, just using the mobility on these Zerglings to pick away here, pick away there, keep forcing that army of Cyan to run around and see what it can get done. A whole bunch more Roaches on the way up, so this is going to be a second wave of aggression here. You know, this is not just going to be okay. Let's time to switch things up. No, there's going to be wave 2 of aggression as we see some probes being pulled in. We're going to see these Zerglings being targeted down. Lots of them Lings going down there. A few probes have been picked away at, but I mean, it's still a worker lead here for a Protoss player, 57 to 49. Zerg player is still making nothing but Lings and Roaches, and it looks as though he's going to come up the left-hand side of the map now and see what we can do with this. We actually might get into a weird scenario where you see Cyan actually counter-attacking straight through the center, and these Roaches are going to be very far out of position, and of course there's a recall available in this Protoss army, right? So as soon as he sees it, these Roaches are going to turn around and just come back home. The Protoss army just clean up a little bit of crit spread, and well, maybe looking to try and catch his opponent kind of, droning up now and forcing units, but when he comes in, he's going to see a lot of Roaches, and I think that's an amount of Roaches you just back away from. You don't engage. You see some forces coming in to kind of section these off. It's actually really good forces to kind of really force these Roaches to run through as a choke point. So you will see the recall in as a few too many Roaches make it in there. And Horror will move across the map now aggressively. As I mean, it's get out. Blinker's now up. We see some more Adepts being walked in. As we'll see pylons coming up at the front here, at the top of this ramp once again. Maybe a couple of sentries again to force field this section off, just buy himself some more time. Does he need more time though? I mean, maybe he just has enough anyways. Nice force field does kind of choke these units up a little bit, but no charge gets used up immediately. And pylon gets killed immediately as well. We see Horror moving on. Does Cyan have enough? He's actually supply blocked here momentarily. No warp ins for him for a little while then, as these Ravagers are doing so much damage. As you see 6 more Stalkers coming up, and is it going to be enough to clean this out? These Ravagers do go down very quickly when there's nothing there to tank for them, but Zerglings are streaming across the map too, and Horror just looks as though he might have a little bit too much army right now. These Stalkers have blink, but Cyan has got to do some major blinking if he wants to stay alive here, as these Ravagers continue to just pick away at anything and everything they can, and it looks as though Horror is going to break Cyan with wave 2 of this aggression. Again, I mean, a couple of force fields right here would have just split this army up or delayed it for a long amount of time, and that sort of delay would have been really, really nice. You see these Stalkers continue to fall and dropping down all over the place. You see more pylons going down. Corrosive Battle is going to get dropped as well, and that should be that. As we're going to see the Stalker just blinking away, and that's going to be GG. Horror takes game number 3 and does advance through to the round of 16, where he will play a TV